This is Pioneer's DMH-WC5700NEX. The DMH-WC5700NEX is an in-dash modular solution digital media receiver with a 6.8-inch flat panel capacitive glass touchscreen. Pioneer's modular solution receivers are designed for applications often in newer vehicles with limited depth behind the dash that prohibits the installation of a traditional full-depth 1-DIN or 2-DIN in-dash receiver. This installation flexibility is achieved by physically separating the flat panel touchscreen display from the subchassis that contains the CPU, the control system, terrestrial radio tuner, the amplifier, and all of the input and output connections. This allows the subchassis to be mounted in a different location within the vehicle. This product can be installed in many different vehicles using existing and readily available dash kits and specialized dash kits available from Metra. The DMH-WC5700NEX has Alexa built in. It's compatible with Apple CarPlay with a wireless connection, and when connected to a compatible iPhone using a wired connection through USB. It's also compatible with Android Auto with a wireless connection, and when connected to a compatible Android-based phone with a wired connection through USB. The DMH-WC5700NEX has 3 pairs of RCA outputs for operating external amplifiers and is backup camera ready and Sirius XM ready. The USB port can be used to connect your phone and playback MP3 or FLAC music or other high-resolution audio sources, as well as MP4 videos and still images. The system features built-in HD radio and built-in Bluetooth for both hands-free calling and wireless streaming audio. Let's take a look and see what's in the box. You can see this is a really big box for an in-dash receiver. Let's pop this open. First thing we see here is the wireless remote control included in the box. There's the wireless remote. Next up is the GPS antenna. There's the GPS antenna that'll be used for Apple CarPlay, wireless Apple CarPlay, and wireless Android Auto. Next is the wire harness. This is the main wire harness, electrical wire harness that's used to connect power and ground and speaker connections and all the electrical connections from the in-dash receiver over to the vehicle. Next up, we have the input-output wire harness, and I'll give you a closer look at this. 3 sets of RCAs, camera input, and so forth a little later in the video. Next, we have the Bluetooth microphone. Now, the Bluetooth microphone here is on a wire about 10 feet long or so. You use the Bluetooth microphone for making hands-free phone calls and other voice commands to the in-dash receiver. Okay, and next up we have the USB extension. Now this is the USB-C extension. The USB-C port is on the back of this in-dash receiver. We include this extension in the box so you can bring that USB port up into the passenger compartment of your vehicle. And we have USB-C to USB-A adapter there. USB-C to USB-A. You should put this up in the passenger compartment of your vehicle on the other end of the extension cable in case you need to adapt to USB-A. Then we have the monitor brackets. So you'll see as we show you this receiver that there are 2 parts to it, the screen and the main chassis. These are the brackets so you can mount the screen to the main chassis. And we have the mounting screws included in there. There are the mounting screws. And we have the warranty card, installation manual, and quick start guide. There we go. Now let's get the receiver up out of the box here. Now there's 2 parts to this receiver. The first part is the main installation chassis, and we'll give you a careful look at this a few minutes later in the video. And the next part is the screen. There we go, and we'll give you a careful look at this as well. The flat panel display of the DMH-WC5700NEX is a 6.8-inch capacitive glass touchscreen. And it's just 1 inch thick. Or maybe I should say it's just 1 inch thin. The operation keys are built into the glass on this button panel here on the left side. The home key is here. The voice activation key is here. And the volume control is here. You'll do most of your interaction with the in-dash receiver with the 6.8-inch flat panel capacitive glass touchscreen display. The back panel of the DMH-WC5700NEX flat panel display has only one connection. this is where you'll plug in the RGB connection cable to the control unit. The cable is about 12 inches long and is easily long enough to connect the control unit to the flat panel display when using the included mounting hardware. The mounting brackets included with the DMH-WC5700NEX can mount to the back of the screen or to the hideaway chassis. If you mount the brackets to both the screen and the control chassis, you can use these holes as ISO mounts for many standard tuned-in install kits. For additional installation flexibility, an optional RGB cable is available. The Pioneer CD RGB150E or the RD RGB150A both offer an additional 5 feet of RGB flat panel display extension cable. On the back panel of the DMH-WC5700NEX control chassis, we start off with the GPS antenna input right here. The GPS antenna is used to provide reliable GPS data to many different possible apps on your phone. For example, Alexa, or wireless Android Auto, or wireless Apple CarPlay. The GPS antenna should be installed inside the vehicle in a place where it can receive a strong satellite signal. The included GPS antenna must be installed in order for wireless Apple CarPlay to operate. This is the steering wheel remote control adapter input. You can operate the in-dash receiver from your steering wheel controls with the use of a third-party adapter. You'll plug in the Bluetooth microphone right here. The Bluetooth microphone is included with the in-dash receiver, and it's used for making hands-free Bluetooth phone calls and giving commands to Alexa, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Vehicle integration products like Metra Access or iDataLink Maestro RR and RR2 will plug in right here. You'll use this port for the optional SXV300 tuner or a newer tuner from SiriusXM. Here is the USB Type-C port that can be used for Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. The USB port can also be used for music, movies, and still images through a USB flash drive. And remember, we also include a USB extension in the box to bring the USB port up into the passenger compartment of your vehicle. And this is where you'll plug in the power and ground wire harness connected to the vehicle. The Pioneer DMH-WC5700NEX has a built-in amplifier that's designed to operate up to 4 speakers in your vehicle. On the other side, here is the micro HDMI adapter. This audio-video input can be used with many different audio-video sources, including streaming sticks. And finally, the FM, AM, and HD radio antenna from the vehicle will plug in right here. This is where the input and output wire harness plugs in. And here's a close-up view of the input-output wire harness. Here are 3 sets of RCA outputs for operating external amplifiers. They can be set up as front, rear, and subwoofer output, or for more control and better sound quality, high, bandpass, and low output. And these are 4-volt RCA outputs. And the brown RCA here is the dedicated backup camera input. The 3.5mm auxiliary input is also an audio and video auxiliary input. This is the RCA video input. This is the RCA video output. And finally, this is the external mute, and that is Pioneer's DMH-WC5700NEX modular in-dash receiver and what's in the box.